So let's do a bit of practice together. Paraphrasing is just saying in your own words what you heard the other person say. It's one of the tools that we are going to learn in one of the modules, and it's probably the easiest to learn. So you're just listening to someone, and after they talked for a bit, you can say something like, what I hear you saying is, and then you just say the same thing in your own words. That's active listening 101, the most basic tool you can use. And everybody can do that. So you're just saying what you understood the other person say, but you're not adding anything or interpreting. There are tools we can use where we can do more than that, but paraphrasing in itself is just that. Because if you look at me when I'm listening to someone, you will see I'm going to bring up a lot of stuff. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to reflect the feelings that are there. I'm going to talk about what's not being said. Those are all advanced tools. But we're just going to practice paraphrasing. So one person here is going to just share something. It's just something. It doesn't have to be a positive memory. It doesn't have to be a memory. You can share whatever you like. You can talk about anything. It doesn't matter. You just speak for 1 or 2 minutes. And then the other person, someone else in the group, is just going to say, well, if I understood you correctly, blah, blah, blah. Or what I hear you saying is blah, blah, blah. And you can find your own way of saying that. So you're saying that it doesn't matter the way you introduce the paraphrasing. And then the person who talked, the first person to talk, would just confirm or adjust what the other person is paraphrasing back. So it's an easy exercise, but it's going to give you some live practice doing that. And the goal is not to be perfect. It's never to be perfect. So when the person is talking, what you do is you try to just stay present and listen. And when it's your turn to speak, you're just giving back what you heard, what you understood. And sometimes the person talking is not all that clear. So it gives you a chance to connect back to the first person, because you say, what I hear you saying is, and maybe you didn't get it, but maybe the person was a bit confused, and it's not your fault if you didn't hear what the person was really trying to say. But it gives a chance to reconnect as we're listening, instead of just letting someone talk on their own without any feedback or anything. So when we do active listening, we don't listen silently the whole time, because the person in front of us is going to feel a bit alone, unless they're really used to receiving that kind of empathy, because it can be really powerful to listen to someone silently. But most people are not used to that, and you're not used to that either. So maybe a bit later, we're going to practice just listening silently, and you'll see what that does. But for now, we're going to learn paraphrasing. So who would like to go first? Being the first person talking and then the first person listening.
I'm happy to talk first and
Okay.
share something.
So Lorena or Eric? Lorena, you want to listen?
Yeah, I would love to listen.
Good.
Beautiful. So today I went on a very, very long walk to a river, like a big, oh, not a river, it's a lake actually, like a big lake in between mountains, like close to our area where we live, and it was beautiful. Sun was out, it was not cold at all, like for November. It's quite astonishing. And we had like a very good walk, good talk as well, and it was good to move because we just came from a buffet. So we needed to walk, and it felt great. It was really good. Yeah, that's the experience.
Oh, great, Costa. Well, what I listen is that you had a great time in a long walk that you had after having a buffet, and it was a some place like a lake, and that the temperature was nice. So it sounds like that. Is that it?
Yes, that's what I said exactly. Um,
And for me, that I want to add, for me, what came out is the uncomfortable feeling of having eaten too much at the buffet. The walk provided a very good relief in a beautiful setting.
that's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it this way. One person is talking and the other two can respond.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
interesting because
I like that.
you're going to realize we're hearing things differently. We pay attention to different details in what the other person is saying.
Mm.
So who's next?
Yeah,
For,
I think with the paying attention to different details, I think also from from different trainings I've had is also our brain. Like I might not have heard the same things as Lorena because maybe for fractions of seconds I might not have been present for the same words with the same intensity, even though I might have heard them, maybe my mind was somewhere else. So for me, where my mind was most present is when he talked about the buffet. And it's not the word itself, it's just that's where I was more present, like that feeling, and maybe that's why. So that is, like when reading something and you reread it many times, sometimes you figure, how come I've never seen that paragraph before. I don't recall this paragraph. It's because so I guess it's the same thing in when we listen to somebody talk. Maybe we've missed little things.
yeah. And some of it comes simply because we're different people who value and pay attention to different things. Um, Many kinds of reasons why we don't hear the same way. So who wants to go next?
I guess I can go next. Um, Let me think. To today or yesterday, my sister told me if I wanted to go with her and my little niece to go with her to the vineyard where she works. She will give a tour, and I will stay with my little niece. And I always like spending time with them. My little niece is almost 2 years old. Um, I also thought about a friend that she said we should hang out, and I thought we could join all and go to the tour because it's close, a little outside the city, but close, and it could be a nice afternoon trip, small trip. Yes.
Thanks. So Eric or Costa,
Yeah,
who
I
wants
can
to?
go. I can go. So basically, what I understood is you took advantage or the opportunity to invite a friend uh, based on the invitation of your sister to be for the tour at the winery with you and with you and your niece, and you figured the more The more the better. More the better.
Yeah, yeah. The more the merrier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what, that's the right expression.
The phrase.
So what I hear you saying is that yesterday you had a invitation to go on a trip with your loved ones, your sister and your niece, to a vineyard where she's working. And you invited even more loved ones, like a good friend who lives close by, to combine this trip with those people that you like to be around.
Yes, yes, I did.
So, Eric, it's your turn to speak.
Trying to think what I'm gonna talk about. uh, Today, well, every day almost I do my exercise and I go run. That's one of my favorite things to do. For me, running is like my meditation. I just go. I don't wear anything on my head. I don't listen to music or anything. I just run and salute people. I'm in Mexico right now, and I know Mexicans appreciate uh, being saluted with a hola or buenos dias. And I know the tourists that are around here, well, they're surprised when you say good morning or bonjour or hola because, well, they're on vacation and they're happy, and that somebody they don't know salutes them. Uh, Seems to feel good for a lot of them because they might not be used to that where they come from. And sometimes people don't reply, and my feeling is that maybe they haven't heard me because I didn't see if they had things in their ears, and or maybe they just don't feel like answering, or they answered me, I didn't see it with a head shake and I didn't see it. Um, but that's part of my morning routine that I really enjoy.
So, Eric, if I understand you correctly, you were just saying that you have like a favorite activity that you do like every day, which is running, which gets you into like a state of meditation. And while you do this, I understand that you also love to just greet people because you just say hello to people you just cross paths with. And what I also understand is that you observe the reaction. You see if they're responding back to you, and you kind of also just notice that there are differences and that there are reasons maybe for people having a different reaction to the same thing that you do.
Exactly.
Um, Eric, I heard you were sharing with us that they're in you're here in Mexico and you go today. You went running like you do. How you like it as a meditation? You don't wear you don't listen to music, and you share like the tradition to say hello to people, and I hear that you like Mexicans take it like very natural, like okay they like, and maybe people from other places you see different reactions, that some people seem to be happy when you say hello. Uh, some others you don't see them answering, and maybe they did a small sign like a no shaking their head, like, well, with the head, or or maybe they didn't listen to what you to your readings. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So now tell me, how did that practice feel? How did it feel to be listened to? And how did it feel to receive the paraphrasing of other people? And how did it feel to try paraphrasing what you heard when someone else spoke?
For me, it was fun. It was nice. I sometimes think that talking to people is difficult, but this felt easy. Like I was listening, and like on Monday, I said that listening can be an active activity. So it was nice also to listen to the stories and getting to know each other a little more. It was nice for me.
It's interesting because you are discovering that listening to people and paraphrasing what they're saying can be really fun and interesting. First, you really get to know people, and then you also discover that active listening is just that. It's active, it's not passive. You are there, and you're in there when you're listening, right? It's not something we do passively.
Yes.
Yeah, it seemed intimidating at first uh, to paraphrase somebody else. But you know what? After I've heard myself being paraphrased, or like it felt good to hear how somebody heard what I said. And in this case, it was exactly what I was feeling or intending to say. But I was feeling that if somebody had would have uh, paraphrased in a way that wasn't exactly what I meant or said, that I would have felt comfortable just adjusting. In this case, there was no need, but I would have felt like, yeah, it would have been just an exchange and just, I don't want to call it a correction, but, and
Adjustments.
yeah, but it felt good to hear it back like that. Okay, the paraphrasing confirmed that I had been listened to.
So it's interesting. So it's a new practice, paraphrasing what people say. So at first it might be a bit intimidating, but then you're discovering what you get back when people do it with you. You get the feeling that the person was really attentive and really listening to you, they're able to tell you back what you said. And that's a nice feeling. I'm paraphrasing right now. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes.
So Costa.
I felt heard. I felt heard, understood, seen in my world, even though people were like you guys were just paraphrasing, not paraphrasing, but yeah, paraphrasing with your own words, but you also used words that I used. So it's kind of like some words that have a meaning for me, they stayed while you kind of just told the story that I guided you through in your own words. And this is how I felt as well listening. I was just taking into the environment that you just like you created a picture for me, like a world, and I saw you on the vineyard, I saw you running, I saw you waving, and I just told you what I saw while walking in your world. And some words stood out to me, like joy, when Eric said, that's what I enjoy, it gives me joy. This is something I had a craving even to repeat this, that it stands out to me, that it's kind of like I shouldn't use a different word for that, just this word, and play it back in this way. So yeah, this is what I noticed as well.
And me listening to you, Costa, it makes me realize that like what you were feeling or seeing, paraphrasing when you listen to Lorena, you had images in your mind. Whereas for me, I'm an auditory person. So for me, I hear feelings. I don't generate images. Uh, for me, it's just a different experience of what I heard from Lorena. It would have been like the sounds of uh, of her with her friend and her family.
So you know that that's another difference for why we're not paraphrasing all the same way.
Mm.
Because I'm just like you, Costa. When people are talking, I see images of what they're telling me. And that helps me remember what they've said because I can see that film in my mind again as I'm rephrasing. But it's interesting to know we're all different and we all hear things differently. And sometimes we can use the words that the other person used, and sometimes we can use other words, but we can paint a picture so that the person can see, yeah, that's what I said.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
that was,
you paint a picture, and for me, I hear a recording.
yeah, exactly.
Like if I remember a password, if I want to remember it, I will hear it. I won't see an image of the password. I'll hear my password. So it's just, I guess we store differently
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Interesting. I find people fascinating. I always have, ever since I was a small child. I found that people were fascinating. We're so different, and at the same time, we're all the same, really, where it matters. So because it's